and had to kill themselves by drinking too much alcohol so that they would die from alcohol poisoning and then explode and then die. What a miserable sight, said the stallion, who was sober and sitting at the bar watching it all through the right eyesight. This place is so wet. It needs the water of life. Excuse me, sir. Sky tried to help the stallion with something as he felt sorry for him too. You look abnormally normal in comparison to everyone who is looking swell. Are you drunk? If you are, that's okay. I was drunk last night, apparently, and I don't know whether or not my mother cured my alcohol poisoning or not. If you are poisoned, I just wondered if I could help you get well soon. Meanwhile, now, the choice is ours. Twilight held her wallet and squirt gun out at the manager, using telekinesis to play with his mind. You can either take my money or die. I'll never be greedy, the manager made a stand. I have no ambition to get in the ways of evil. See you in Moo, then, shouted Twilight as she beat the manager over the head with the gun, and he died instantaneously as he bled to the point of his death. Aw, your eyes look irritated. Let me help you, she chuckled, as she spit on his grave, somehow, by squirting water in his eyes, which cleaned up the blood as she prepared for a defensive or derisive remark. Oh, and thanks for the key, but I don't need it. I have teleportation magic, so the key to my future doesn't need the key-locked safe to be safe. While Twilight teleported inside the vault, took the food, and teleported out, Sky walked in limping on one leg that was bruised like his arms and his eyes like a gorge that had symbols engraved on it like an eagle's knife. Twilight, I'm in pain, but I'm numb everywhere. He diagnosed Sky himself. What? Could this be how it feels to be in two places at once? Oh, looks like you got pretty badgered back there in both ways, replied Twilight, like a venomous snake that mushed up fungi, his venom, and pills to create applesauce. Don't worry. Now that we have all the food, we can just teleport back to my house without a challenge, where I can heal your wounds in both ways. Using the power of magic, they got back to Twilight's house, where Twilight laid Sky down on the couch. She then put food on the table and laid it out like someone was preparing to eat it at a banquet, a feast, or dinner, as there was a TV in the living room where they could eat. Please keep lying down to be seated. Twilight finished treating wounds of his. I have to go get something from the dining room for this particular feast. Why don't you keep thinking about my orders while you're here? As Twilight went to the dining room, her order convinced Sky to order his attention, to a letter lying on the table under all the food and getting unusually messy to the lack of Twilight's attention. It was another note from Princess Celestia, and the title was Twilight's Orders. He decided to read it, and it read, Dear my most trusted lackey Twilight, whose name I will not speak of in the details. The Y Day is approaching. In preparations for January 20th, the day machines will truly replace pony life. I need you to give me satisfaction with your orders. First, go to the human world version of Equestria, where I have turned all the humans into ponies. My robot duplicate has the Nothing in the school I built there long ago. Destroy my duplicate and rescue the Nothing to gain his trust. Second, return the Nothing to the pony world version of Equestria, and make sure to destroy the human world version with the power of your magic squirt gun in a manner that will appear like an unavoidable consequence to the Nothing. Third, make sure to corrupt him with all the evil that was taught to you with the immortality chip and the vile teachings of the rebel group I sent you to spy on, the pacifist assassins. Don't forget that on the way back, you must stop at the food bank to get plenty of groceries for the corruption that will surely get him to choose the evil side. Finally, once you're sure he's become evil, destroy Luna's son, and he'll return to me to assure the beginning of the end. With love, your star in. This list of orders is listing orders, Sky wondered as he read the letter, like a hunter spider that captured his dearest love, but accidentally stuck her to the wall that was actually a secret passage to the treasure of sapphires. But destroy Luna's son? What did you star in mean by that? I hope the Nothing and Luna's son are doing all right. So you didn't take my orders lying down, but you look pretty relaxed about the entire thing. Twilight gave Sky a sinister smirk as she walked back into the living room carrying a glass of water wearing purple and green underwear instead of her black suit, which is a new detail all of a sudden. Aside from the orders, what is this food all about? Sky asked as he waited for a response. What are we going to use it for besides eating? Eating? Replied Twilight with her smile still unfazed. I'm not hungry for food, Sky. I'm hungry for you. That's why I want to have a good meal with you, if you understand what I mean. Wait, is this food just an appetizer for the main course? Sky pointed to himself in a humble way. This was all just a preparation to use me for food? We're all food, Sky, Twilight enlightened. Thanks to downgrade fusion, anything could be eaten, and I want us to eat each other sexually all night. Do you really mean? Sky felt like he understood the message. Talk is cheap, said Twilight as she moved in towards Sky. Let's make our conversation about something exciting, like expenses. Are expenses going to lead to consequences? Sky asked as Twilight helped the water in front of his face. Great syntax. I don't know. Twilight shook her underwear. Would you like me to spike your drink? Will that hurt? Sky had memories of getting punched earlier. Not at all. This is a beautiful comitatus between two things that are food. You'll love it! Twilight tried to insist that she wouldn't put him in a coma with her love as she grabbed a lot of the food off the table, including the main course, the vegetables, the fruit, the beverages, and the desserts. I just hope me being weak and tired won't ruin anything, Sky replied. Great. Now we may begin, she said as Sky put his... Great, now we may begin, she said, as Sky put his greasy pig in Twilight's greasy pig, and they shaked and baked around until there were buns in the oven. Is this good? Sky looked at the goodness of the defiance of nature. Not good enough, you slow, sloppy hog. Twilight porked Sky while treating her partner like chopped liver. We also may have to make comments about each other, but we must do it sexually, just like a salesman would during a sexual harassment case. All right, your eyes look very nice. Sky tried his best to compliment her. That's nothing. Your eyes are connected to your brain, and I'm surprised you even have one. Twilight complimented back as she raised in some good sugar on Sky's bran. Well, you look like a very healthy creature. Sky tried to sell her easy stock comments as he grasped for straws. Oh, that's funny. Just don't try to cook your gushing oni on the field where I'm going to sell my ad, you sturdy fry. Twilight pawed, carrying it to the next planet, like a bawling beetle sprouting in the fields of Christopher Columbus. This feels cheesy, but it's also sort of rad-ish. Holy fuck. He wedged the potent taters over the cornfields, producing too many pine-scented apple trees with a hint of lemon. Aren't you glad I'm not being a donkey hole over this great fruit? I ate Twilight? Is eating fruit while holding a chicken bone? Or aren't you glad I didn't put a bone in your nana? I'm just glad that the cock of trees wasn't a chicken of potatoes, said Sky, being joyful about the birds like a ship that fished for fish that would sue an Asian sheep for themselves. And I'm just glad my nana never existed. I wouldn't want someone to have no bones. We've deserted the meat of the main topic, so allow us to continue this sexual baloney. The icy Twilight only gave half the story, like a coughing whip master who bifurcated his sick cream horn so he could be cool and ready to whip. Where had the nonsense gone? Sky iced like a centaur who knew how to do jujutsu as he looked in the mirror, but not at the undeniably true tale. It was gone when you decided to get lazy and not be adoring my cheap odes, ruffled Twilight like a munching cat's odes lacking cry. At least you're chipper in lieu of the flat odes. Sky sawed the vision that didn't sing or spiral out of control. Won't you cater to my pillar of salted nuts? Twilight buttered up as she opened her fly. Of course, since it's all meant to be. Sky grabbed the nuts and did what anyone would do with them. I wouldn't go small or AWOL for naught. Now you're getting it. We're in a monogamous little exchange here, Twilight said, undeterred in a key sentence as she pulled the two doggy bags with turkey in them. So, do you want to get down for white or dark meat? Hey, that's not very nice. Sky finally objected to something, as the lack of innocent behavior had made him more subtle. I want both. Damn, Twilight cursed herself for Sky's lack of naivety. I mean, hey, that's true. For once, Sky didn't suck up, so Twilight had to suck up the fact that she would have to get more obvious to fool this sucker. Well, I guess that's it for now. I don't really have a lot of things left to be mustard. Twilight tried to catch up for lost times as she relished sauerkrauts of mustard and mayonnaise that would catch up to Sky's eggs. Well, at least this isn't offensive. Sky gave in to the hidden messages. And just like that, he's mine again. Twilight drilled into her own head like she would a birth year. It's true what they say. You can't tune the messages of a ham, but you can certainly tune a fish. Okay, that's fucking...